country wa kakan wa le fara balẹ̀ ká fara wa mọ́ra ká yẹ hùwà political party. Àwọn political party ló máa ń bú ara wọn, àwa ò kì í ṣe political party, gbogbo wa party kan ṣoṣo la belong sí, party Oòduà, party Oòduà. Pé kí gbogbo wa ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká gba ilẹ̀ wa sílẹ̀ ká yọra ara wa kúrò nínú gbogbo the destructive tendencies of Nigeria. Àwa mọ̀ pé a ní agbára, Ọlọ́run fún wa ní agbára láti lè kọ́ ìlú tó gbádùn. When I was a young man, an undergraduate in Ibadan, àwọn organization kan tí bàbá kan ní Oxford dá sílẹ̀, wọ́n wá invited a few youths from Africa. I was the boy selected from Nigeria láti lọ represent the youth of Nigeria in that conference in Switzerland, up in the mountains somewhere cold. Bàbá yẹn Frank Bookman ló ń jẹ́. Ara nǹkan tí wọ́n kọ́ àwa ọmọdé tán kó jọ sí ibẹ̀ yẹn fún bí ọ̀sẹ̀ bíi mẹ́ta mẹ́rin ni wípé you have a duty, you young man, you young woman, you have a duty to build your nation into a family and into a family that is united, happy, a loving, laughing, illuminated family, peopled by contented and happy men, women, and children. A loving, laughing, illuminated family, peopled by contented men and women. That's what I'm looking for in the Yoruba Nation. I want the Yoruba Nation to become a happy, loving, laughing, illuminated family, peopled by contented and happy men and women and children. It is a joy serving the Yoruba Nation. Yes, that's the nation that God has given to us, and we must serve it. There is no alternative. I am not angry or dismayed or disturbed or stressed out by the fact that our Yoruba and Buarawa and Shekwefunawa and Shekenekam Gbogbo. Those are the diseases of Nigeria in our lives. They will go away. We will create a country in which everybody has a chance, an opportunity, where everybody is struggling to take advantage of the opportunities at their disposal, too busy trying to catch the bus of their lives, that they will have no time to abuse anybody or tell lies against anybody. It will happen. The Yoruba Nation will become a loving, laughing, illuminated family, peopled by happy, contented men, women, and children, by the grace of God, by the grace of Allah, and by the grace of the fathers who created the Yoruba land, whom God gave the ability to create the Yoruba land from the beginning, the gods of the earth that has given the Yoruba Nation the base upon which to create a marvelous kingdom, a marvelous nation of serious-minded, capable men and women, intellectually sophisticated from the beginning. Listen, I've just finished writing a book. It is being published now. Maybe in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks from now, it will be published. Then you will see what the Yoruba Nation, you see what I'm running after. What am I running? I'm running after a nation that God made beautiful from the beginning. I am horrified to see it suffering in Nigeria, declining with Nigeria in every way, economically, politically, morally. Especially, I am horrified by the moral decline that Nigeria is bequeathing to the Yoruba Nation. But God has granted us our country. This is my message. God has granted us our country. We've cried and cried. All over the world. All the cries to the Lord. God has granted us our country. However, for us to be able to take it from the hand of the Almighty God himself, for us to be able to approach close to him, kneel before him, stretch forth our hands and receive the gift, the grant from him, we need to purify ourselves considerably. So in yes, we are praying. Let us pray more and more. But let us be conscious also more and more of our need for self-control. Oh, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Baba yẹn mo tẹ like bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ ó yẹ màmá yẹn ó wù mí bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ màmá eléyìí kò bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ mi kò mi bàbá ti bí kò yes, that is natural. That's perfectly natural. There is no need to curse one another over that. There is no need to abuse one another. There's no need. And we have this tendency of telling huge lies against one another. And so why do we do that? There is no need to do that. So like therefore because you don't like his voice. Therefore, that's what it amounts to now. If you don't like somebody's face, or you don't like their voice, or you don't like the way they dress, the next thing for you to say is that I'm a politician. If there is any of your brothers so by offended, yeah, come on, don't go about telling lies, because you are traducing your own spirit when you do that. And it don't puron land repeat against any KG. It's cursing himself. It's cursing himself. I love you all. I don't want any of you hurt. I want all of you to be there. But about share celebration. Ten pariwo ten sack irú eré tí mi ò lè bá yín sá tó jẹ́ pé màá wò yín lókèrè náà lẹ máa sá nǹkan yín lọ tínú máa dùn pé that is the Yoruba nation alive and well and celebrating. Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa wà ńbẹ̀. Kankan lára yín ò ní gbẹ́sẹ̀ kọ́. Kankan lára yín ò ní fọwọ́ gún. Burúkú ayé ìkankan ò ní kọlù kankan lára yín. Tẹ́ bá ti marry, tẹ́ ti bímọ gbogbo àti ìyàwó àtọmọ yín, aburú kankan ò ní kọlù yín. Mo bẹ̀ yín ẹ jẹ́ ká kóra wa jọ pọ̀. Every one of us. There is nobody. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tá a lè ta sẹ́yìn. Nobody. It's all one family. And it is a family that we want to build into a loving, laughing, illuminated family. Peopled by happy and contented men, women, and children. That's what we are going to become. That's what the Yoruba nation is destined to be. And about history, I'm a historian. And about history, Yoruba something is different. There's something unique. As far back as 500 years before Christ, the Yoruba put the little pieces of wisdom that the Yoruba had evolved around the Ifa worship together into Oduifa. It is an enormous, some people are putting it together now in writing. One of our brightest young Babalawo started a few years ago to put Oduifa together, all of it together. in writing. When he did the outline, he said there will be 17 volumes. I have seen the first 3 volumes. One is 1,000, volume 1 is 1,270 something pages. Volume 2 is 1,400 and something pages. Volume 3 is 1,400 and something pages. Huge tomes of knowledge in these volumes. And he says there are 17 volumes that are coming. And some people put that together 500 years before Christ. Is there any other people on the African continent except the Egyptians who have a record near that? None. Are there many peoples in the world who have records that are near that? Very few. So let us know that we are the people of the morning, the people of the beginning of the human race. We are unique. Let us always remember that. When you want to open your mouth and curse your brother, remember, I am the product of a unique nation. I am a child of a unique people. And so, profanity, cursing, lies must not be found in my mouth. Mobayini. Gbogbo yín pátápátá, oh, Baba, Baba, kò sẹ́ni kankan tó èmi lè tì sẹ́yìn lára yín o. It's as simple as that. I cannot tell any Yoruba man, woman, or child, sún sẹ́yìn kúrò lọ́dọ̀ mi, or ẹ tètè bá mi ṣe kí n tètè lè sún kúrò lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀. I must trust you all. That's what God commands me to do. Trust you all. Bless you all. Bless you every day. I wake up in the morning blessing all of you. I go back to my bed in the night blessing all of you. I'm not angry with anybody. I cannot be. Ọmọdé a máa ṣọmọdé. Tó bá ẹgbẹ́ kan tí bàbá ṣe ní jọ́sìn yẹn kò hàn láìkẹ́ ó bú bàbá kúrọ́ mọ́ bàbá fine. Is that going to make me reject you or renounce you or denounce you? No. I love you too much to reject you. I love you too much to renounce you. I love you too much to denounce you. Oh, organization can't. Come fine. They will stop Latimabu Baba. It's my duty to love you and to include everybody. I include everybody. So that's the legacy of Nigeria in our lives. That's the legacy of Nigeria. Let us reject it now. Let's throw it away so that we will be clean enough to come before. Remember, in the Bible, God says, iniquity shall not approach my throne. Iniquity. So why do you call me Lord, Lord, when you will not do what I said to you to do? How am I your Lord? If I tell you not to do something and you love doing it, in what way then am I your Lord? That's what God says. He says the prayer of the sinner is an abomination unto me. It will avail nothing. All your prayer will avail nothing unless you are close to God in your character, your moral character. God says the prayer of the sinner is an abomination unto him. Remember that when you are opening your mouth to tell lies against your brother, in Kantori, you go on the air and begin to announce it as if you were there when it was being done. It does not matter to you that it is possible that it was never done. The important thing is that you don't like that fellow and you must join in the lying against him. Let us begin now to prepare ourselves. Oh, I get calls 10, 15, 20, 100 times a day. Baba, I declare a nation. My answer is soon, very soon. God has granted us our country. We are preparing ourselves in 2 different ways, or in 3 different ways, to receive the country. The first way is to pray, to thank God. The second is to reform our own moral quality so that we will be near to our God. And the third is to make sure that the declaration will not be fraught with danger. What do I mean by that? I will give you examples. A country called Catalonia in Spain, the richest people in Spain, the Catalonians of northeastern Spain. Because of the way they have suffered in Spain, the way we Yoruba have suffered in Nigeria. In the past few years, they have decided that I want to shape Spain more. I want to shape country to one lot of, and they're quite a large country. So they mobilize themselves the way we Yoruba have mobilized ourselves. In their own case, they were lucky. Awani, 6 different state governments, and then part of us in Kwara, part of us in Kogi, part of us in Niger state. But in their own case, all the Catalonians are in one region of Spain with one regional government. That's fortunate. They were very fortunate in that. Àwọn máa káàkiri láti máa gbẹgbẹ àwọn gọọmenti wa mẹ́fẹ̀ẹ̀fà àtàwọn àti gọọmenti Kwara tó lè ṣàkínṣára wa, gọọmenti Kogi tó lè ṣàkínṣára wa. In their own case, they have just one regional government. The region of Catalonia in northeastern Spain. So all their political parties held a meeting. Bí àwọn náà ṣe ní political parties, PDP wà láàrin wa, PAPC, Labour, náà ló wà láàrin àwọn náà. But then they organized the meeting some 7, 8 years ago. And all of them decided it is time that we Catalans leave Spain. So all the political parties agree to join hands together to fight for the independence of Catalonia from Spain. Wow, so far so good. Then they organized a referendum. The government of Spain went to court to try and stop them from organizing a referendum. So they canceled it, and then they came with a very ingenious response. We are organizing a referendum for ourselves. We are not asking Spain to recognize it. If you are not asking Spain to recognize it, then Spain cannot stop you. Referendum. And 99.something% of those who voted yes for the government an independent state of Catalonia. Then the national, the regional assembly, the regional government took the result of the referendum from them and moved the motion in this regional parliament. And the regional parliament unanimously voted for the new country. Wonderful. Then the trial came. Now, hear me. I want you to listen to me very carefully. Then everything has been going on well, fine. Now the trial time came. The government of Spain said that they had committed treason, that their leaders had committed treason by leading them along the lines of voting for independence in the parliament. The prime minister particularly was attacked by the government of Spain. They charged him with treason. He had to leave the country. Now here, listen to me here. When he left the country, there was no country he had made arrangement with before. They had made no arrangement with any country of Europe or anywhere in the world for friendship, for support. So he just ran blindly to Italy. Italy let him settle down. But then the government of Spain charged Italy with offending against against Spain by interfering illegally in the affairs of Spain. And so the government of Spain decided to send him away back to his country, where he was under the criminal charge of treason. He got lawyers to represent him in the court of Italy. The court ruled that the government of Spain had no business, no duty, no right to send him back to Spain, but had the right and the duty to send him out of Italy. But they keep CB, so leave our country. So he left Italy, and I think he went to Ireland or some other place. And it has been so now for more than 4 years. The prime minister of a country that jubilantly declared itself a country in the world has no country in the world recognizing it.
Hello, Mr.
Nobody, no country in the world is recognizing Catalonia. And so the independence declaration is just a dud, a nonentity. It doesn't amount to anything. Catalonia is still in Spain, and the Spanish government is still taking action against those leaders there who led the people in the direction of independence. What am I saying to you? It is foolish to declare your independence without having a little assurance that country 1 or 2 will be right back beside you if danger comes, if trouble comes. That, this country may be willing to mediate between us and the government of Nigeria if trouble comes. This country will be ready. It's not a question of may, you must be sure, absolutely sure. Will be ready to stand by us if we declare our independence and Nigeria marches in an army upon us. Or this country is ready to offer to mediate between us so that they can invite us to their country and ask us and the Nigerian authorities to sit down to negotiate the future. So we can then insist at the negotiation table that we don't want to be part of Nigeria anymore. But we are ready to help Nigeria in some respects. The people left in Nigeria in some respects. There are ways in which we can help. We are the strongest people in the old place. There are things in which we can help the others. That's the way the game is played. Do I want the Yoruba Nation tomorrow? No. Tomorrow is too late. I want it today. I want to be able to stand before you, Yoruba people, today and say, we have our country. Praise the Lord. But before we do that, and the day will come when we will be able to do that. Nobody is coming to declare our country for us. Our Funawalama declare our country war. But before we do that, before we take that step, we need to have some things in place. And that is what some of us are doing now, and keeping sleepless nights to do. We must prepare the ground. Is there any country that is ready to mediate between us? We have given Nigeria a deadline of September 30. When September 30 comes, if the Nigerian government is not ready to negotiate with us, is there any country in the world that will stand up and say, oh, those people gave you a notice and asked you to negotiate with them? They are peaceful people, they are decent people, civilized people. We, country A, will stand between you.
Recording in progress.
And we are inviting you to our country to come and do the negotiation. We will provide all the facilities for you. A decent hotel, good negotiating table, recording materials, etc., etc. Or that's one option. Or there's another option. Is there a country in the world that will say to us, listen, we think you deserve what you are asking for. Go on and declare your country. We will be right there by your side. If Nigeria marches their army in, the next morning we will be there to tell them to go back, because our own army will be stronger than theirs. Those are the things we're looking for now. Those are the things we are searching for. Without such guarantees, we will be endangering our people needlessly. Oh, there is another country on the African continent. Somalia broke into pieces. The government of Somalia broke into pieces and they began to fight one another. The military dictator Barre said he was the ruler of all, but he was ruling nothing because the country was in chaos. Just as Nigeria is in chaos now. Finally, in 1991, Barre ran away. And a section of the country, that's Somalia, is a large country. A section of the country nearer the Indian Ocean then said to itself, well, this country is broken up. We can no longer stay in it. We are civilized people. We are productive people. All this war, we are tired of it. So we are taking our own country away from Somalia. And we will call our new country Somaliland. That's different from Somalia. The rest of the country is Somalia, but we will be Somaliland. So they declared the independence of Somaliland. And they have been really decent folks. Stable politics, decent politics, free and fair elections, and so on. In spite of all of that goodness, not one, that is 1991, they declared their independence in 1991. Not one single country on earth has given them recognition. Which means that they're not part of the Committee of Nations. They are not part of the United Nations. They cannot go to international conferences. They cannot they cannot borrow money from the World Bank or the international or get guarantees from the International Monetary Fund for borrowing money anywhere in the world. And what do you think will happen to such a country? Poverty. They live in poverty. Yes, they organize themselves well, and they hold good elections and so on. But since nobody has recognized them, their independence is nothing. It's not bringing peace, it's not bringing joy and progress and prosperity to them. So we Yoruba, we are too civilized to run ourselves into that kind of situation. We cannot step into that kind of situation. So the next next few weeks is negotiating, talking to people, asking how they are ready to help us. We are lucky that they receive us well everywhere because the name Yoruba is a name that attracts love and support everywhere. That we have never been to any country where they say, "Oh, you are Yoruba." We have never. Everywhere people say, "Oh, you are decent folk. You are decent folk." Some people who know history tell us, "Well, you were already a nation before the British came and rammed you together with other people into a country. We know you. You deserve what you are asking for. You are asking for what is already yours anyway," and so on. So, by and by, we are sure we will get a few countries that will be able to stand by us, either to mediate between us and Nigeria, or to stand up to defend us if Nigeria chooses to attack us. That's the situation. That is the situation. That's the truth of our existence. And so, my dear people, my plea to you all consists of 3 demands. 1, pray for the people who know these diplomatic games more than the rest of us, who have volunteered to do this thing and go to this country or that country on our behalf quietly. Diplomacy has to be done quietly. It's not something you make a noise about. Let's pray for them, that as they go, God will let favor attend their paths everywhere they go. That the Yoruba nation will have favor. Oh, some people think, oh, I don't believe lọ́wọ́ wọn ṣe torí pé wọ́n ti wá dọ̀gá wa. Wọ́n dọ̀gá wa kankan, kálukú ń ṣe tiẹ̀ ni. In 1948, so go to another example. The people of Israel haven't negotiated around the world and begged and organized and so on. Were assisted by some powerful countries, especially the United States, to come and make their case before the United Nations. Ben-Gurion, who later became their first prime minister, stood before the United Nations and made a wonderful case for the state of Israel. case don't make enjoy vote for. There are countries in the assembly, in the General Assembly, in the Security Council that had long already accepted that Israel should have their country and that were ready to support Israel. So the vote was yes for the state of Israel at the United Nations. And back home in Israel, young people were doing their thing, began to burst into the streets, demonstrating, dancing, kissing one another, and so on. While they were doing that, the Arab countries decided to attack them to make sure that the state of Israel would never exist. And so Arab armies from various directions burst upon the dancing and rejoicing crowd of Jewish people. Israel did have a small modicum of an army, the Haganah, but that was not anything strong enough to stand before the armies of various Arab countries, bursting in from different directions at the same time. But remember, some powerful countries had made it possible for Israel to stand before the United Nations and to get a vote for their country. Those countries now stood up to defend, to offer Israel defense. And Israel was able to survive the multiple attacks. That's the way to play this game. Don't imagine that in being careful, you are being a coward. You are being cowardly. No, there's no cowardice in the spirit of the Yoruba people. No, we are not cowardly, but we are intellectually strong people, and we will do whatever is needful so that on the day we declare, we will be strong. That's what is needed. Let nobody among us, if you don't understand, okay, that's all right. You don't understand that this is the way this game is played, that's fine. But don't stand on the rooftop shouting that those who are doing what I have just described are cowards. They are not cowards. They are doing the right thing for us. So that's our situation. Sons and daughters of Odua, we have our country. God has given it to us. We want to be able to take it at a time and in circumstances in which we shall be safe. I know we will get it. I know we will be strong. I know we will acquire strength. We will acquire support. And we will be able to stand and declare our country and be confident that our people will be safe. That's the situation. That's where we are in the struggle now. That's where we are in the struggle now. Another angle to what we are doing is that at the right moment, our people must be ready to go out in the streets and demonstrate. That may be, if we decide that that will be the prelude, that has to be the prelude. It depends on the circumstances. If we decide that such a mass rally, the mother, I call it the mother of all rallies, if that is the needed prelude to the declaration of our independence, we must do it. And all indications show that it will be helpful to have such a mother of rallies. And I have said it's not just the kind of rally you go out in the morning and in the evening, everybody is hungry, they will go back home and the rally is over. No, no, no. It will be something different. When we go out there, we shall be out there throughout the day, throughout the night, maybe throughout the next day, raising our voices, shouting. And it may be that you don't have to leave your town. In the rallies that we have held in the past, people will go all the way from Lagos to Ekiti to go and join the rally, or people will come from Kwara to go and join Lagos. No. We'll be spending a lot of money hiring vehicles and so on. No. That's not the kind of. You will rally in your town or in your village, in front of your house. You will take possession of the road in front of your house and rally there. Show that you have rejected Nigeria. There. And let us see what army from Nigeria will come and attack our people. So, my people, the ball is in our court. God has done his own. It is we who must now. The Egyptians chose to lengthen the journey of 16 days, 11 days, to a journey of 40 years. May that kind of fate never befall the Yoruba nation in the name of God. Amen. We will make it, and we will make it soon. We have given a deadline of 30th September for Nigeria to agree to negotiate with us. They have our letters. The letter has gone to the President of Nigeria, the Vice President of Nigeria, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and the President of the Senate. It has also gone to the 6 governors of the Southwest. There is no ambiguity in it at all. It's clear as the sunshine. We want to leave Nigeria and have our own country separate from Nigeria. We have given the reasons. The way we have expressed the reasons, they are utterly convincing. We are going to make the same letter available to the United Nations and other important agencies of the world. We have done what needs to be done in that letter. It's not a letter that took a day or two to write. You want to write a letter, sit and get paper and pen and write, and in an hour or so you are done. No. It is a letter that took weeks to put together properly, carefully. That's the name of the game. And the letters we are writing now to the various governments in the world are all letters of the same nature. Letters you sit day and night, that I sit day and night and write, and then send to other people and ask them to look at it. And they send back with suggestions, and we go over it again and so on. That's the quality of leadership that the Yoruba Nation has. So, is it a bad thing to be shouting at any country? Well, of course not. It's not. You are motivating the young people that way. It's good. It's good to be shouting at any country. What? Fine. But there is something you must not say. Don't ever say, I need the help. You can't come from anywhere in the world. We need help. When you are saying we don't need help from anybody anywhere, you are destroying the work that your diplomatic people are doing around the world. Please don't say such things. Yes. Out in a country where, whatever, Yoruba Nation now, Yoruba Nation, sure. Out in a country where, yes, sure. But don't ever say, I need help anybody. And don't ever give our people the impression that seeking help of the rest of the world is cowardice. It is not cowardice. It is the way the game is played in the world. I congratulate the Yoruba Nation. I know that you will heed my pleas. Don't curse one another. Don't create the impression the world is watching. You are asking the world for help. Naturally, the world is helping. It's watching. Tó bá dàbí pé à ń bára wa jà láàrin wa èèyàn kan lára wa dìde ó ń contradict àwọn yòókù nǹkan táwọn yòókù ń ṣe àmọ́ kan tá a bá ń ṣèyẹn aráyá máa wò wá wọn ní sọ no wọn ní sọ yes wọn kàn máa wò wá ní pé àwọn wọ̀nyí wọn lè ṣe country kan náà o. In a number of places we've been confronted with the story of South Sudan. South Sudan started to fight for its independence from Sudan in 1956, 4 years before independence. They fought and fought and fought until the world listened to them. They are not well known. They are not well known like the Yoruba people. The Yoruba people are very well known. That's different. They were not very well known. So finally, the world listened to them, and major countries like the United States said, well, okay, let's give these people their country. And so the United Nations agreed and asked them to go and organize a referendum and send supervisors there to supervise it, to oversee us, to see it. The referendum was well organized. The people of the South Sudan voted almost 100% for independence. In the years before that referendum, a lot of people in the world were helping the South Sudanese. Some university professors of African origin began to organize themselves in order to help, to help appeal to the world for South Sudan. I remember in some of those meetings, the people of South Sudan would say, we are ready to build our country. We are going to be an epitome of harmony and unity and so on. And we were all impressed. Then they organized a referendum, and the United Nations recognized them as a country. They held the government that unity and harmony and so on existed for only 3 months. Then they began to break into groups led by warlords. And they have been fighting. Those groups and their warlords have been fighting. That was 2011. They are still fighting today. So when you go abroad and you say, we Yoruba, we want to, and tell you, are you you must recognize that we have fear, because this is how we supported South Sudan, and they went and became a land of warlords and war. I have met important Americans, including 1 or 2 senators who have said to me face to face, Steve, are you sure that your people will not be like the South Sudanese? And I'm ready with my answers, of course. You know, we are one nation. We are not many ethnic groups. We are a language, one culture, one. Yeah, they said, then they say, yeah, but You are one people, one culture, one somebody. We hear very discordant voices from among you. When some of your leaders are saying one thing, others are saying another thing. Shouldn't we be afraid that we may have the South Sudanese situation again among the Yoruba? So the answer is, let us show unity to the world. Let us stop behaving as if we are discordant voices. We are one voice, the voice of Oduduwa. Let us show that voice all the time. We want our country. We deserve our country. We have suffered too much in Nigeria. We have a lot to show to the world when we have our country. Yeah, we have a lot to give to the world. Let us all do that. Let none of us, out of any reason whatsoever, go out there and begin to create the impression that we are a disunited people. We are not a disunited people. For God's sake, why do we want to present ourselves to be what we are not? The day has come. The day has come. Oduduwa's day in the history of the world is approaching. Let us be worthy of it. God has granted it. Let us be worthy of it. When I stand up, or you stand up, or another person stand up and is talking of another person with venom, with anger, with bitterness and cursing, you are dividing our young people. They don't understand what you are doing. You are confusing and dividing them. That's why it has happened in recent weeks that as many of our young people are cursing and bitter and so on. It is because the people who are older than these youths have shown division among them, and the youths have bought it by cursing and lying and abusing people. Please, sons and daughters of Oduduwa, the time for change is here. We must change so that our journey that is apparently very short now does not become a long journey. I beg of you. I want to plead something with you. I am 87 years old. When I was coming back to Nigeria 4 years ago, 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, I was not thinking of any self-determination, anything. I thought, oh, there will be people out there who would do it. I was sure that the Yoruba Nation should leave Nigeria, but I didn't think that I was the person who would come and do any such thing. Too old to do such a thing. That's what I told myself. I have outlines for some 4 or 5 books that I want to write before I go to meet my Lord, my God. And so what I thought I was coming home to do was to sit in my backyard and write those books. But God said, no, you are not going to be sitting in any backyard writing any books. You are going to be in the streets, fighting for the freedom of your people. And I have given my life to this. I have no private life of my own left anymore. I don't have a private life of my own. From morning, one little boy joked here the other day. People who say Baba is working from morning till night are wrong. Baba is not working from morning till night. He's working from morning till morning. Why did he say that? Because when they are going away in the evening, the young men who are helping me, they see me sitting behind my computer writing. When they come in the morning, they see me sitting behind my computer writing, and I have been there sometimes from 3 a.m. I have no private life of my own anymore. I have no income of my own anymore, because the income that I earn from my pensions, I throw into the struggle without any discrimination, without asking. Some young people, some loving people among us who say, Baba, I'm sending you this little money. It's for you yourself to take care of yourself, buy your medicine, and so on and so forth. But it is not for the organization. It's not for any organization. It's not for the struggle. It's just for you, Baba. But the truth, and I will say, yes, my daughter or my son, thank you. But the truth is that sometimes before I get off the phone, some need arises in the struggle. And I give that money out for the meeting of the need, in order to meet the need. I have no private life of my own anymore. And I want you all to remember that in all this struggle. There's an old man who has given everything, his life, everything. I am 87 years old. My wife is 86 years old. She's sitting by my side as I'm speaking to you now. She has never said to me, let us give up. She has never said to me, you've done enough. Let us quit this thing. Whenever I turned and look at her face, I see encouragement, not discouragement. Daddy, she will say, well, God has called you to this. You must obey him. He is the Lord. I beg of you all, remember me. Remember this old man who is giving everything so that our nation may be free. I thank the millions of you who are praying for me every day. When people ask, how's your health, Baba? My health is good. And thank you for your prayers. The prayers are upholding me.
Please join me in clapping for Papa.
Thank you.
Daddy,
Reform. Join me
Thank you.
clapping for this old man.
Daddy,
Papa.
Thank you all. Thank you.
I'm so grateful to you. I have to
We are
remove
so grateful to
your
Papa.
picture from here now. This is what you do not want us to see.
Yes.